So Staff Sergeant and I are still in this hole, and all at once the guy said, "We need some help." And I heard a holler guy, and it was passing the guy up. The first lieutenant was our company commander and got shot through the mouth. And I told the girls, his mouth was down here, and his teeth were going like this, but they weren't saying nothing, you know. It just, and his mouth was way down there, and part of his ear was gone. And just a young fellow, first lieutenant, he was our company commander. I remember helping him carry, and I lost my rifle. But you just pick up a rifle anywhere. You get it all over. You can pick up anybody's rifle. And he was such a nice guy. Now, I don't know if he ever survived or died, but anyhow, the platoon sergeant in the H company, which is a heavy weapons company, which I was a heavy machine gun platoon sergeant, that's where I was supposed to went anyhow. We got close to that company, and they transferred me to that company. So I went in there as a platoon sergeant in a heavy weapons company, heavy water-cooled guns. And I tell you, they attach you to rifle companies. You might be Company A, B, and C, and Company D is a heavy weapons company. So you may be attached to either companies A, B, or C. They're glad to see you come because you got a lot of firepower, but you also draw a lot of fire, because that's the first thing you want to knock out is your heavy machine guns. And if you're a heavy machine gunner, you're going to draw yourself a lot of fire, no matter where you are. And you got a heavy load to carry, and ammo, and water cans, and tripod weighs 51 pounds, and a gun 34 pounds, hold 7 pints of water. And you got to move all that stuff right quick. It's a long story short. And anyway, I had 198 combat days, and right in the end of it, right near the end, this is where the end comes in, I was in a crater with a lieutenant from the field artillery in there with me, and he asked me where I wanted fire put down, where we've been getting a lot of hot stuff coming. I showed him in the areas, and he was radioing it back to the artillery about 6 miles back yon way. And all at once it come on his radio that the United States just dropped a big bomb on Japan and the war might be over shortly. And 2 days later it was over. So I remember right where I was when that happened. I got a picture here on the wall. It's up in there, I'll show you before you leave. The last soldier killed in World War II was killed in Luzon 2 hours before the war was over. A Jap sniper got him. And he lives right over here in Morrow, Ohio. And the people...
Here's your picture.
Yeah, that was my picture. Yeah, I was tired and thin. I had acute hepatitis A. I got real sick, sewing up everything you eat. And they sent me to the 80th General Hospital in Manila. I got over there twice. I got hit in the arm. I got hit. One of my men got killed. And I ran over to him, and I got my knuckle shot off on this hand. Hit the front sights of my rifle, and I could look down there and see the bone, but I wrapped it up with a package I had, because the Japs was overrunning the aid station, so you don't pay attention to this guy. You gotta get the people doing the killing. And it got infected twice, and I went to the aid stations. I stayed there a couple of days. They had to clean it out and stuff. So I didn't want to tie up an aid man on some little diddly thing. But yeah, that's a guy just come from the States. He's still husky, and I'm pretty thin there because I started throwing up everything I was eating. And they sent me to the 80th General Hospital in Manila because the war was over. And just before it was over, though, it was in my book where I killed that last snake. I wrote my little book, my daughters, and we were rounding up prisoners of war and he was in a big line. Someone found a stream way down there, so you had to take your time and run down there and fill up your stuff, whatever you was carrying for water. And I laid my rifle down. I went to crawl up on this bubbling stream, and I seen all these bushes right in front of me shaking. And I saw there's a damn greasy Jap. Watch us coming down there. He's crawling up. He's seen us come down there. He's coming for me. He's right on top of me. And I was laying in water. But I carried a 45 on my back. You never always have 2 or 3 weapons. And I crawled over that ice water boiling up, and I remember how cold it was when it hit me here. But I was parting them weeds one at a time, ready to grease this greasy Jap. And when I passed the last one, it was a big thing with
Python? Python?
No, it wasn't a python. It was a thing had a bullfrog on his. Yes, so it was.
He was eating the frog.
Yeah, huh?
He was eating the frog.
Yeah, it's a big thing like that. I think it was a big snake or something. Had his mouth way bent out of shape, and he was wobbling all in the rims. It looked as I expect to see a Jap right there. So I just thought it was so relieved. I just shot and killed him, and the frog jumped out. I think I shot one leg off, but he was a 3-legged frog somewhere on Luzon. That was the last shot I fired in World War II.